Don't you see it? Maybe you are not meant to be in a relationship right now, and that's okay. Maybe your life isn't about sharing everything with someone else at this moment. Maybe your life is about building, about focusing, about chasing the goals that will define you. People don't talk about this. They tell you to settle down, to find someone, to complete yourself. But what if you were never incomplete? What if the truth is that a relationship isn't what you need? It's what distracts you. Look at your life. You want to start a business. You want to build your vision. You want to achieve something most people will never touch. If you're not there yet, you don't have time to split your energy. Because relationships, let's be honest, they take time, focus, and effort. And if your foundation isn't strong yet, the relationship won't save you. It will only slow you down. It will only pull energy from the fight you should be winning. Most people never see this. They run from loneliness. They chase attention. They beg for distraction, scrolling, dating, filling empty spaces with people who don't matter. That is weakness. That is fear of being alone with your own mind. But you need to learn to stand in silence. You need to get comfortable with being alone. Because when you are truly alone, that's when you hear the truth. That's when you discover who you really are. That's when you build discipline, vision, and power. Being single is not a curse, it's freedom. It's space to work, to fight, to focus without compromise. It's proof that you don't need validation to keep moving forward. So, stop believing you are behind because you're not in a relationship. Stop thinking you're less because you don't have someone next to you. Sometimes the strongest people are the ones who walk alone. Maybe you're not made for a relationship right now. Maybe you're made for war, for work, for greatness. And when you finally get there, when you've built the life you dreamed of, if love comes, fine. If it doesn't, you still stand strong. Because you are already whole, already enough, already powerful. It's okay to be alone. In fact, it may be exactly what you need.
I'm telling you from the bottom of my soul, it is so easy to beat people today. They are so soft. They have no work ethic. No one can stick with anything. Everyone's distracted. They're on social media. They're counting their fucking notification because they can't stick with shit. They can't say no.
The man who refused to get distracted is the man who rose from nothing. He remembers what it felt like to be laughed at. He remembers the sting of failure, the weight of shame, the sound of voices tearing him down, and he made a decision. Never again. He knew the mind could be controlled. He knew the brain could be trained. So he killed the part of his mind that begged for comfort. He killed the part of his mind that cared about opinions. He killed the part of his mind that craved validation. And in that silence, he built something stronger.
Do you work smart or do you work hard? It's you do both. You do as many reps as you possibly can, and you do it with the most leverage possible. So if I make 100 phone calls, the leverage that I can have there would be how skilled I am. So if I make 100 calls, I'm gonna get 10 times more. And so I worked more, I had more output than somebody who has less skill.
Pure focus, laser discipline, a mind that doesn't fold under pressure, distraction, dead, doubt, dead, weakness, buried. Because once you destroy the part of yourself that holds you back, you become unstoppable. He no longer hears the laughter. He no longer feels the weight of rejection. He no longer breaks when life gets heavy. He focuses. He builds. He moves forward without mercy, without compromise. The man who refused to get distracted is the man who will not be controlled again. And that is why he wins. No mercy.
Get back to fucking work.
This is your new life.
It's grind season, homie. You still got work to do.
There's human beings that have different temperament and different minds and different mentality and a ruthless competitive drive that's almost terrifying to the ordinary person.
My philosophy is, why be normal when you can be the best? No one can be normal.
Do that thing, man, that keeps you up at night. That thing that bothers you, man, that makes you trip. You can't quit thinking about it. You always, that thing, man, that you wake up in the middle of the night, you got a new idea. That's what you got to chase. Because anything else, it's going to disappoint you.
But if the why isn't strong, if your goals aren't powerful, If the vision isn't clear, the old prophet said, without a vision we die, without a vision we perish, without a dream we're nothing.
Remember this, is that people are time wasters, and the great majority of people have no goals, they have no priorities, they have no plans, they have no concern about becoming successful, and they think that you're the same. They think because their time isn't worth anything, that your time isn't worth anything.
I think a lot of people create these to-do lists when, in my experience, it's been so much more useful to write down all the things that I'm willing to sacrifice. Because if you sacrifice everything, there's nothing left than to do the one thing that matters. And I think Jerry Seinfeld talks about this from a writing perspective. He says that every day, no matter what, he sits down and he writes for 2 hours. Now, he doesn't have to write, but he's not allowed to do anything else. So he can sit there, but there's nothing else to do except for write jokes.
So, let me be real clear. I don't have time for distractions. I don't care what they're doing, what they're saying, or where they're going. I care about one thing, my path. I've learned the hard way. When you focus on everybody else, you lose yourself. You waste energy comparing, doubting, scrolling through lives that don't belong to you, and for what? Nothing. I shut it all out. The noise, the gossip, the opinion. Because my vision matters more. My work matters more. My dream matters more. I wake up thinking about it, I spend my days chasing it, and I go to sleep knowing tomorrow I'll push again. Life is simple. Do the work, stay focused, keep building. That's how dreams are made. Not by luck, not by waiting, but by discipline and relentless focus. So, yeah, let me be real clear. I don't care about them. I don't care about their path. I care about mine, and nothing will pull me away from it.
And so I think a lot about that from the climb perspective, which is like most of everyone who's listening to this who isn't achieving what they want is fucked with their time. They think that they're spending all their time working, but your output, like you don't even know how to work. I mean, really.
Believe in yourself. Don't fear failure. Dream big. Work hard. Stay positive. Enjoy the journey.
And then the next day comes and you're back playing again. And you understand that life has this cyclical nature where it's, you know, what you do on Monday, it's fantastic, but then Tuesday is a bad day. But guess what? There's Wednesday. So are we just supposed to live our lives like this the whole time? You know, versus just staying like this and understanding that it's really just a journey of evolution every day. It's just constant improvement, constant curiosity, constantly getting better. The results don't really matter. It's the figuring out that matters.
Yeah, and we all get obsessed about the results.
Yeah.
Now we get obsessed about like the output, not the input, of not figuring it out and not like changing things. What you said, trial and error, like the experimenting.
Yeah.
We forget to do that.
Nobody cares. You know, at the end of the day, nobody cares. What we're going through, how your body feels, nobody cares. We gotta do our job. And we emphasize that to each other again today. You know, hey, I got your back, you got mine. Nobody cares, man. We gotta go.
Be focused, because without focus, your dreams are nothing but a list of wishes. Words on paper, empty promises, a vision without fire. Most people dream big, but live small. They talk, they write, they plan, but they never execute. And at the end of their life, all they have is a list of nothingness. Dreams that never left their head, goals that never left the page, a life that never became real. But the man who is focused, he's different. He doesn't just dream, he builds. He doesn't just talk, he moves. He doesn't just hope, he executes. Focus turns dreams into weapons. Focus takes chaos and shapes it into order. Focus ignores distraction, ignores doubt, ignores the laughter of weak minds. Focus says, I will get this done. No matter how long it takes, no matter how hard it gets. Be the dangerous man, the man who doesn't just dream, but acts. The man who doesn't wait for permission, doesn't need approval, doesn't care about comfort. The man who knows discipline will outlast talent and consistency will outlast luck. Dangerous men don't chase attention, they don't waste time, they don't fold under pressure, they are too locked in, too sharp, too relentless. And here's the brutal truth. The world fears the focused man because he cannot be distracted, he cannot be controlled, he cannot be broken. So stop letting your dreams collect dust. Stop letting your potential rot away while you waste time on nothing. Be focused. Be relentless. Be the dangerous man who turns visions into victories. Because in the end, talk dies. Excuses die. But results live forever. Be focused. Be dangerous. No mercy.